Hey, I'm with Michael Andreas today, and we're at Michael's letting agency in Camden. Hi Michael, how are you doing?
Hi.
And what I wanted to show you today is how to put together a really good cash flowing letting agency business that supports everything else that you're doing in property. Now Michael is in a very unique area. I was just talking to Michael a second ago. One of his properties, for example, is renting out at nearly £4,000 a week. I can't believe it, £4,000 a week. And he's earning 8, 10, 12%, whatever you're earning out of that. And imagine, as you build up, you're going to get a big portfolio of those sorts of properties, and then you've got a great cash flow coming from the management fees. So this is his agency. He's been running it for a very short space of time.
It's about 8, 9 months now.
8, 9 months.
8 to 9 months.
We've already got nearly 30, 40 properties.
Yes.
30, 40 properties. He's doing well. Some great cash flow coming from this business, and I thought it'd be great to share what Michael's doing, how he's doing it, what made him start the business. So should we go inside and have a bit of a chat over a cup of coffee?
Absolutely, I'd love to. See you soon.
Hey, it's Parmdeep again, and we're now inside Michael's letting agency. As you can see, it's paired up with a cafe. So we're in Camden, aren't we?
Camden, Chalk Farm, Camden.
Chalk Farm. What's the address of the letting agency?
It's 88 to 89 Chalk Farm Road, NW1 8AR.
And so Michael's been in, as we were mentioning outside, he's been in for a few months and already has established a very successful business, and we'll show you some of the details of the business downstairs. It's just down the hall there, isn't it, behind us?
Yes, in the lower ground.
And so you started this business. Now, for someone who's looking to generate a cash flow from running a letting agency, give us an idea of some of the figures. I think we were talking a second ago about someone you know. I think we should give some of the figures there, if you don't mind.
Yes,
just to give people an idea of what they can do with this sort of business. And also, what does it take to start one off?
Well, okay, let's start with the established agent. It's somebody who's local, they're within half a mile radius of here, and I've developed a very good relationship with them. And they've shared that they've been around for over 15 years. And in that time, they're now managing over 1,500 properties, which is huge. And I know the kind of fees that they're charging. So over the long term, we're talking £3-4 million in fees alone, and that's without the sales that they do, the fees that they charge the tenants. So long term, it's a very profitable cash flowing business.
That's a £4 million a year business, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Never mind the amount of properties that person owns. Never mind the refurbs that they do and all the money. Probably you're going to make double that once you add in all the extras.
Easy.
So it's not bad for a few years' work. So I'd love to kind of share with people what it takes to start one of these businesses. Sure. I think that a lot of people do look at agencies and just think, well, just looks like a little sort of letting agent, and well, how much money can they really be making? But we know the truth.
Yes.
They're very profitable businesses. So what made you start your agency, and what did it take to start yours? Did you have to have a lot of capital?
I was fortunate because I picked my partners wisely. One of the partners, there's 3 partners in the business, and one of the partners owns the building. So he owns the coffee shop and the hotel upstairs. So what that means for me is I don't pay any rent and rate until much later on down the line. So that has really helped us, because that's a huge part of the expenditure. So that's been very good for me.
Can I ask, I know you're coming to the Underground Investors Summit on the 25th and 26th of June. And I know you're going to be revealing how to find partners, or you're going to be giving a lot of tips on how you found partners. So if you're not sure about that, certainly make sure when you come to the Underground Investors Summit, listen to Michael's talk, because he's going to be sharing that. So please
come and speak to me afterwards as well.
Yeah, 25th and 26th of June. Okay, Michael, so tell us a bit more about so you found a partner, that really helped you get the rent free?
Absolutely, so that was one partner. The other partner I found was Hanif Khan. I met Hanif through the Tycoon Mastermind Alliance. I was one of the original year one.
You're one of the old bogies?
One of the old, yeah, yes. So one of the things that we did was to go and visit Hanif's letting agency in Birmingham. And my experience with letting agents up until then was only as a landlord. So it was mixed. It was a mixed experience, because there are good and bad agents.
Yeah. But
from a business point of view, it just made perfect sense. It fitted in with everything. So knowing that I had Hanif on one side, I hadn't approached him yet at that point, and knowing that I had a partner in London who I knew was interested in starting a letting agency, it made sense. And we had conversations over a period of time.
So partnerships are important?
Very much so.
What about capital? What does it take to start one?
Okay, if you're starting a letting agency with a shop front, you do need to have money behind you.
That's our little friend there.
If you're starting a letting agency from scratch, you do need to have money behind you, not just because of the rental rates and fitting out the office, but also because at the moment you have to plan that. I mean, we're doing okay for ourselves here, but the difficulty at the moment in China is getting landlords on, and the climate is such that you do need to have a backup fund just to make sure you see your way through until you reach that breaking point at which then there's no looking back.
That's not a huge amount. You're probably looking at a few thousand, depending on where you are.
Depending on where you are. I mean, since I've opened, I've had probably 25, 30 people from the TMA and other people that I network with come and sit down, and I've gone through with them what we do here.
Oh, right, that's good.
Yeah, so I've had quite a few of them. So it's been good conversations, and the advice that I give to everyone is, if you really want a shop front, then do it, but do your numbers and make sure your numbers are real. And I've also told them to come and run them by me just to make sure that they are genuinely legit, because the last thing you want is to overestimate your sales and underestimate your expenses. But a lot of the people, and this is where most people are coming from, what they want to do is to start up at home. So they're literally doing it from their kitchen, from their bedroom. That keeps your overheads at a minimum, because you don't need an office to manage a property, and most of the marketing is done online with the likes of Rightmove and Gumtree and Find Your Property and Prime Location. So you don't necessarily need an office. An office is good because it gives you credibility with the landlords when they come, but it's not the be all and end all. So you can do it cheaper by doing it like that.
Start with a home.
Absolutely.
Home base. Build it up to the point where you're making enough money to cover overhead.
Absolutely. That's a smart way of doing it.
Very smart.
Yeah.
And it's easiest, actually. It's easier than doing it the other way around. But also, even if you wanted to have a shop front from day one, your partner could provide the money, couldn't they? If you had a partner with
JV
like you've done.
Absolutely. Almost everything I do now is with JV partners, even if I don't need a JV partner, because I find that it makes work much more interesting, because, as we've discussed before, if you're doing property on your own, it can be really boring.
Well, it's more fun doing it this way.
Absolutely. And I've always found that with every JV partner, they brought something to the table, some little nugget of information or a little angle that I would never have thought of before. So everything I do is JV, so it works.
Brilliant. Something else you talked about was the importance of getting landlords, because I think tenants are fairly straightforward. You put it on Rightmove, a lot of websites, and you'll find tenants fairly straightforward.
It's supply and demand, and at the moment there is a huge demand for properties and a very small supply of properties available. There's tenants. I've got, I think, something like 400 or 500 tenants, applicants, waiting for properties on my books, and the properties are few and far between.
But you've been good, you've got the right partners, you've managed to do the right marketing, and you're getting landlords in.
Absolutely,
so
yes.
You've done very well. And I was looking at some of your leaflets. It's an example of one of the leaflets that Michael's using successfully in the local area. Michael's also got a referral scheme as well. And Michael's going to be sharing these leaflets at the Underground Investor Summit, so if you're there, make sure you grab Michael, he'll give you a copy of his leaflets. But marketing is important, isn't it? You get the right marketing out, you get the landlords.
Yeah, you have to focus on your marketing. You have to focus on your image, the way you present yourself. It's all about credibility.
Yeah,
absolutely. And of course, you have to be able to deliver.
So tell us a bit about the amount of work it takes to run this, because we talked about the amount of money you can make, which is obviously fantastic, and not just from the management fees, but you could take commissions on refurbs. You've got all the little fees that go on, you're managing your own properties really well. That's a very big part of it, because then you know, for example, if you knew where all the tenants wanted to stay, you just go and buy properties in that area.
Absolutely.
Whereas a lot of landlords haven't got a clue, and they're buying the wrong area, and they're stuck with properties at low rent. So having that market knowledge is essential, and you're making money. It's a profitable business as well. So it covers itself pretty well. So should we go downstairs and have a bit walk around, just so we can show the guys what's going to set up and how efficient you really are in terms of...
It's very efficient, you'll be surprised.
Let's set the camera down.
Okay, let's go.
So, walk do you want to tell us?
Yes, sure.
We're going down?
Let's go.
Right, come on then. Let's follow you down. So we're just going to make our way down to the hub of the operation. And what is it? It's some desks, it's some computers.
It's the bare essentials.
Yep.
Right. This is Apple Green Lettings. It's literally a couple of desks, a couple of computers. My office manager, Adita.
Hi.
And that's it. And some filing. It needs to be as simple as that. Everything we've done, we've streamlined and automated. It's all about systems. So when we take a telephone call or we get an email from an applicant, we enter their information once. 9 times out of 10 we push a button and it sucks it from the email straight into our CRM software. So we don't even have to touch the data. So that's that. If we take on a landlord, we take the landlord's details once. If we take on a property, we put the property details once. We have one AST for let only and one AST for fully managed. We have one landlord's contract for let only and one landlord's contract for fully managed. They're all templates, so everything is literally push button technology that enables us to be really, really efficient, really streamlined. So the two of us manage the business with aplomb. I won't say it's easy, but it's efficient and it works
And
very well.
the software, and I know you're going to be also sharing a bit about a lot about the kind of software that you're using to sort of automate a lot of this at the Underground Investor Summit.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to have the right software because that's what allows you to really put the automation. I know when Hanif, I was, tell you what, let me try and get in the thing. And when I was talking to Hanif, he said to me that before he had his software, his CRM, he was using spreadsheets.
That's a nightmare.
And it was a nightmare and it was really difficult. And then as soon as he put the CRM in place, his business quadrupled within a few weeks because he just became so much more efficient.
It frees up all your time because when you're working off spreadsheets, you're constantly having to, you're duplicating and triplicating information. That's always how it works with spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And you have to keep on double checking and triple checking yourself because it's so easy to make mistakes. Whereas when you've got one piece of information in one place and it's all encapsulated in one system, and it just makes it so much easier. And then you learn the system and you squeeze every last drop out of it as well. So
you can tell he's very passionate about this. Obviously, it's doing very well for him, and he's got a great business from it. And it's going to be great listening to you share at the Underground Investor Summit. And Michael's going to be talking about how you build a letting agency to the point where it allows you to become financially free. You then get your properties managed for nothing, and you have this great business running that allows you to be much wiser in your property investing, buying the right kinds of properties because you've got that kind of market knowledge. And you've got a fantastic business in the back of it as well.
Absolutely.
So, Michael, look forward to seeing you on June the 25th. Thanks for sharing.
I look forward to seeing everyone there. I don't get my properties managed for nothing, by the way. The agency charges me. I have to pay for my time. So it's a reduced percentage, but yes, it is. It's good to keep everything in house, and you know what's going on as well. So that's much better.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing, Michael. See you soon.
Take care. Look forward to seeing you.
Bye.
Bye bye.